What happens when robots take over the world?
We all don't have to work more.
You're listening to
Jom Sembang, Malaysia.
So, Miss Juwita Suwito, have you heard about ChatGPT?
I have.
Have you tried touching it?
Almost.
Using it?
Because when we were in Singapore, my friend was like at the site. And then she said, yeah, it's at full capacity or something, so we couldn't go in. I haven't
like that
personally tried it or logged in, but I have seen videos about it and how to use.
Cool. So, actually, ChatGPT, I think I don't know lah. I might be stereotyping. It was first picked up by a lot of writers in the country. Maybe because it's about written words. You see, so it's quite a thing. And being a copywriter myself, my clients are all turning to ChatGPT and not me, because they can tell ChatGPT to, hey, I would like to sell a computer, write me a nice headline, and then ChatGPT give them 10 options in 1 second. Obviously, Gina can't beat that because Gina brains it to think. So that brought up a lot of attention in the writing world first.
Okay.
Not so much as the visual world, because I think before ChatGPT there was this AI image generator.
Yes.
Which also caused a big hoo-ha in the industry lah.
The Illustrator one, right? Yeah.
Correct. The one that can draw anything you want them to draw and stuff like that. So it was like, whoa, all the artists felt threatened, the painter, the illustrator and whatever not. And then came ChatGPT and all the writers went, which is going a little bit of a craziness here lah. So just in case, if you don't know what ChatGPT about, since Juwita watched so much videos, she can tell you lor.
Okay. So, to me, right, ChatGPT is like having Gina next to you.
Right, funny.
But 100 times faster. And Gina's quite fast, okay? I mean, you can tell her, okay, hey, I need to put a post about, I don't know, whatever lah. And then she 5 minutes later, come out already, WhatsApp, it's like she just needs to be in the mood for it and it makeups. But no, ChatGPT, you can tell the guy, well, you type it in lah, right? I need to write like you just said, right? A text for this poster, which is about whatever. And then you press enter and the cursor already starts going. Like, it's good. It's in perfect English. It's good.
It's too perfect English.
And it's like it's talking to you. Okay, so ChatGPT is kind of like a buddy who talks to you.
Yeah, that's why it's called ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Chat.
But this buddy has the entire Google information inside its brain.
Correct.
Right? And he doesn't need to have time to type it out. It just is already in there. So whatever he spits out, literally spits out, is already coming from all that info. So you can talk to him. I haven't tried lah, right? But apparently, you can ask him, so what do you think the weather would be like today? And then he'll answer like as if it was a buddy texting back to you lah.
Oh, it's gonna rain.
Yeah, it's gonna rain. So maybe prepare an umbrella. Like, it's not just so factual. Like, it's gonna rain. Like Siri might say it's gonna rain, but this guy is a bit more of a friendly tone lah. So at first, right, when we first started talking about ChatGPT, I thought it was like, you ask it to, because everybody was talking about how it's used to do their assignments lah, or write scripts lah, or that kind of thing. I didn't realize that it literally can talk to you one. So there was this uncle who was talking about it, and suddenly I realized that, this is so much better than, sad to say lah, Google, because you have to type in the thing and then it will come back with that search thing, right? So you have 10 articles, whereas ChatGPT has already summarized all of that for you in a conversation. It's kind of like, when you're listening to a podcast about a certain topic, they've already digested and telling you about it and just listening to it. But this one's reading lah, right? But it's not like reading an article. And you know how annoying it is when you read Google thing. Sometimes it's not what you're looking for, and then you have to find another article that talks about that. But
sometimes ChatGPT also gives you something that you're not looking for, and all you need to do is just press regenerate a different answer.
Exactly. Or actually I'm not looking for that particular one. Can you tell me about the other? Or if you're looking for a definition, the other type of speaker. not the house speaker, but the audio speaker, whatever lah. Then he'll talk to you lah.
So actually, I think for the writer part, we really find that it really changes the ball game lah. So I was there's this girl on my social media who's like really crazy about this ChatGPT thing. She started off with AI, artificial intelligence is not good, blah blah blah. To let's try to use this, blah blah blah. To now I use it for everything, blah blah blah. Because she's also a teacher, so there was a debate between students' assignments and stuff like that. And then came to the latest post was, oh, I'm publishing a book, 20 short stories written by me and ChatGPT.
Wow.
I was like, wow, and all within the span of 3 weeks.
She got converted.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised because she's a writer who really likes to highlight issues like racism or poverty and stuff like that. So when she started chatting with this ChatGPT and say, hi, write me a story about a girl who fell in love, a forbidden love in Malaysia. And then the ChatGPT churned out this Suri girl is a Malay who went and but she likes to eat pork and she has a forbidden love with pork, but she's a Muslim, blah blah blah. But the thing is exactly the kind of racism and stereotype story that we have in Malaysia.
Of course, because ChatGPT is gleaning all that from Google, isn't it?
Correct.
So
but the fact for it to be that accurate at this beta launch is quite interesting. To be able to pinpoint Malaysia's problem or so-called the big conflicts that we always have means that we have inputted a lot of this conflict into the internet.
And even the unspoken ones, right?
Yeah, like pork eating is forbidden love, like hello.
So maybe the internet is where we say things that we wouldn't say in person. Like you wouldn't say that in your normal everyday conversation, but because internet is like to everybody but nobody in particular.
Yeah, so the internet holds the biggest secrets of the world.
Yeah, man. Wow.
Anyway, it's transforming the way things work, not just writtenly. There's other AI. Of course, ChatGPT is like we're not sponsored by ChatGPT.
Yes.
Okay.
They don't need sponsor
but
right now.
But that is like the most talked about right now because it's the easiest thing to use and everyone could use it. So even like my mom can just check, hey, teach me how to cook bak kut teh or something, it happens. But there are other forms of AI as well, which we will talk a little bit more when we come back from the commercial break.
Don't go away.
This episode is brought to you by CMate Communications. We now integrate AI into our services. So if you are looking at a storyboard and then you want something that's churned out within 2 seconds just because you're the client, yes, we can do that now with the AI help. So feel free to hit us up on Facebook page, CMate Communications, CMATE Communications. See you there. I promise there's no AI robots answering your questions. Okay, back from the commercial break. So there's different types of AI. Of course, like just now I mentioned the first one is the image generator thing, which we have people who generate an entire children book just using this image generator. Okay, so it's like you need to spend time also lah. Actually, you need to spend time to input lah. I want the Red Riding Hood painted in what way or whatever not.
Yeah.
And then there's of course now the typing robot that is your personal virtual assistant called ChatGPT and something similar to it. And then you have other things like voice over AI.
Oh, with video and all.
Yeah, the voice over AI is quite scary. You know, you just put in your script and then choose the kind of person you want and just press play and then the mouth start moving. Blah,
That is scary. That is scary.
But I think the most scary thing, or for me, is very intriguing now, that's very related to you is, hey, I write songs too. What do you think about that, Miss Juita Suito?
What do I think about that? Okay, so I have always looked at songwriting as a personal expression.
Okay.
But that's just me. There are people who churn out songs because their job is churning out songs.
But I think expression is a good thing. And in that sense, AI is really helpful because some people want to express but cannot write songs, so the AI write for them. Lor.
Yeah, perhaps. You know, so sometimes like just having that moment of inspiration, of course being able to, that whole journey for me is very important lah. From having that seed of thought and then how it develops into telling that story through a song or, you know, generating that whole thing, the words and then the melody. For me, it's a journey, you know. And if, I don't know, if I pressed a button and just said, oh, write me a song about how I'm feeling now, which is blah, 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 and plop, it comes out, then as a songwriter, I feel it would have cut short my process. It's like journaling, you know. You know, when
Okay.
you journal, you sit down and you kind of phrase what comes out first. It's how your thought is processing everything. But if I was going to say, okay, ChatGPT, write me a journal. This is what I did today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it writes it out for you. It's not like you've actually processed it in your mind.
I
The computer
suppose
has
we always
processed
say
it.
that when we write something or we create something, is part of the processing process.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say there's anything necessarily wrong with an AI generated song. Ooh, that rhymes. There could have been a song.
Yeah, probably you can just ask them to write a million verses with the same theme.
But then, how personal is it? Is another story lah. Because I always say that, you know, when a person hears a song that had a very, very personal beginning, that they can feel it. So my curiosity is whether or not that same thing can happen with an AI generated song.
Interesting.
But if it's just party, then okay lah. If it's a party song, then why not? Celebrate good times. But even that came from some emotion, right?
True.
So I don't know. I don't know whether they could generate that kind of emotion lah.
Emotion maybe lah. Maybe the emotion that they want to do is just through melody, not a human expressed emotion.
Could be.
But I strongly agree with the part where you talk about, you know, the self-expression when it comes to art. Every art has to come with a story, and the story is personal lah. If it's personal enough, people can feel it.
Yeah.
But if it's common enough, people cannot feel it. Okay, so like the recent example that I've tweeted some time
Yes.
back. You know, I was tweeting about Pink's new song. Was it Trust Fall or something like that?
The album.
Yeah. So right, it's like I've always listened to Pink when I was growing up. Like
Okay,
I like
me
some
too.
of the songs and the vocals are like, you know, okay, it's like something
It's
that
Pink
I
lah.
look out for lah.
Yeah.
I might not like subscribe diligently, but I do look out for. So when she has a new song come out, my hopes were quite high. So then the next one came this girl called Miley Cyrus, which
Okay.
everyone know. Which of course I also know, but her kind of music has not been the kind I would subscribe. I wouldn't
Okay.
go looking for it, you know, that
Alright.
kind of thing. Okay. But because her current song, Flowers, came with so much backstory, personal backstory that a robot could never have expressed. Right? And I believe that that backstory really brought her song so much further. You know, and the lyrics, the way it's being used is so direct, it's relatable that people can just, if someone can take your music and do TikTok, your song very relatable already. Okay, but if someone want to use your music on TikTok, and then they go, the lyrics cannot suit 101 storyline, or the melody doesn't come with 101 storyline, then I don't use. But they also give you an indication of how relatable something is on a personal level. And I think in life, a lot of things are quite universal. For example, how falling in love is universal. Not falling in love is also
Falling
universal.
out of love.
Yes, and those kind of stuff. So it is quite an expression. Not to say that Pink's is not expression, but probably it wasn't from a very deep personal story. So it was harder for us to like, hey, this common or general storyline.
I'm
a
not
bit hard
okay.
to
I
engage.
hear where you're coming from, but I wouldn't say that Pink's song necessarily, or any other person's song who didn't make it as big as Miley Cyrus's one lah, necessarily came from a place of less emotion or
Correct, it's just
okay.
different lah.
So for example, Miley's one was smart, right? It's a very, very smart idea. But the fact that it got picked up. So my question is, wow, was it so obvious that her fans picked it up, or was it a planted thought like, oh hey, check it out, hey, the song is about that one. So who came up with the idea is
It could be a
question
marketing
to-
gimmick as well.
Yeah, it could be a marketing gimmick. So I don't know. To me, maybe it was more of the way it was marketed that highlighted all those things that people read more into it. You know, sometimes actually it's not even there. Like I
Yeah.
had songs out that I actually didn't mean something there, but people read into it. Like your books
Correct,
also,
correct,
right? Because they started thinking about it, and the more you think, it goes deeper. But if you don't think, then it's just another song. Like it's just white noise, lah.
Correct. So I think at the end of the day, right, a robot is just a robot lah. Okay, there's the human has to bring in so much of this element, the backstory, the back thinking, the gimmick, marketing
Yeah,
gimmick.
and the forward
You
thinking
can say,
also.
hello robot, please tell me a marketing gimmick.
They can.
They can, but it might not be as impactful because it doesn't have that personal journey that you have.
Or that context of that
Correct.
community and what is special to them.
Correct.
Yeah. So which actually brings back to that question, to this question, right? how would and I've been asking myself this question, how would I use AI to complement or to improve, to make my work easier lah.
Correct.
Okay, because all this time it's like, it's like, plagiarism lah. People are using it for assignment lah, what, that kind of thing. And it's been seen in a bad light, right? But now I'm wondering, how can I use it to make my life so much easier and faster so that I can concentrate on the creative stuff that I enjoy doing rather than
Correct.
having sometimes to write emails. You know how long I take to write email, right?
Yeah, I can write 10 emails before she write one.
That's why you need ChatGPT or Gina.
So so actually, this girl was talking about, that was all about the whole AI thing, writing stories and stuff like that. She's a teacher, right? So she recently got this debate, or rather approve on a debate on how the students can use AI for their assignments.
Okay.
It's first started with ban kind of thing, but it goes to the point where, hey, you AI also, you need to use your brain to input,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So we should actually value that.
And teach people how to use it,
How
right?
to use it.
Yeah.
So now it's incorporated that way to help students who cannot articulate their thoughts to use AI, or who use AI as a research so that they can build more thoughts, build more ideas, build more opinions,
Or
and
build
stuff
more
like that.
understanding even,
Correct.
isn't it? Yeah.
It's like, hey, I don't understand this. Please give me another answer. Please give me an answer until you
Yeah.
explain it in a way that I can understand
Yes.
it. So I think in a way that AI is something that at first people was like, wow, it won't take over the world. Like, like what they say, you have a calculator. Calculator won't take over the world because we have abacus. Abacus.
Abacus. I don't know.
Yeah, that one.
I can't remember how to
Tick,
say
tick, tick,
that.
the Chinese one, okay? So, and then look at where calculator is now. It's not just plus, minus, multiply, divide. It has what? All these formulas on it.
Yes. The scientific
Same
one.
thing with AI lah. I think, in a way, if you don't embrace it, 20 years down the road, it will be so much more advanced, and you want to embrace it, it'll be like, so hard. So, while
Yeah,
it's
it'll be
starting
like coding
now,
already.
let's start with the basic. Since they are already basic, so we better together and see how it can improve the life lah.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you have to choose, what kind of AI would you be looking at?
I think either the Illustrator or a ChatGPT.
Cool.
Because have to write grants. The fella can write in other language some more.
Yeah,
So that'd be awesome. Those would be my first tool, I think.
great. What about you guys? Please do tell us in the comment, or better still, leave us a voice note. See you in the next episode. Jom Sembang Malaysia is hosted by two Malaysian friends who are passionate about Malaysian stuff.
Stay tuned every week for a brand new Sembang session with Juwita Suito and Gina Yap Layung.